Welcome, my queen, to the Spiritual Millionaire podcast. I'm your host, Maiken Bering Larsen, and I'm a two-time best-selling author. I am a clairvoyance healer and business educator, and then I'm spiritual as fuck, just as you. So I'm here to guide you into a natural state of abundance in a new height and depth, because there's always a new level. I'm not only here to share my point of sight, but also to share all the lovely spiritual millionaire out there who is ready to let me pick their brain so you can hear from the experts themselves. So, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you boss up. I hope you tap into your spiritual business beyond the legacy of your dreams. So, without further ado, let's just get started with today's episode.
All right, my lovely listeners, welcome to this episode, I want to say program, that's not what it is, but I want to say hi this time to Laura because I have known her for a while now. I know her story, and I think she fits perfectly into this wealth and spiritual world, how we balance it together, because what she called her clients, she is herself. So it makes perfect sense to welcome in this powerhouse, Laura. And let's just take it one question at a time and bring the listeners exactly what they need when they need to hear it. So without further ado, I just want to say hi, welcome. I have been so excited, and I'm so sorry for a slight change in my settings here in how you hear my voice maybe, and I will not be talking a lot today, so it's okay. But Laura has her mic up and ready, and I don't have my mic, but that's okay. Everything happens for a reason, and I just had to have this interview, so I don't care about the tech. I want to interview this lovely lady because she had a lot of gold on her heart, and I want to share it with the world. So welcome in, Laura. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, love. This is so exciting. I've been really, really excited to come on here and share my story and be part of your podcast world. Yeah, this is going to be so much fun. I feel really good about this interview.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that we can do it this way this time. I have also been in your podcast and it was a blast. So hopefully we will do the same today. I can't imagine anything else. So if it's okay with you, I just want to jump right into it and ask you the first question, which is this diving into the spiritual world. Where on your journey did you awaken spiritually, and how did it unfold in your business too?
Hmm. That's a really lovely question. A great way to start. So my spiritual awakening or my interest in spirituality was awakened when I was working in healthcare. I have a university degree and I've been in health research for a while. And I had a friend who was a numerologist, and she had this post on Facebook saying, "Hey, I do these readings on an audio file. You can come support my business." So I wanted to support her business, and I bought this audio file with a numerological reading. And I thought it was bullshit, to be honest. I was like, numerology is bullshit, doesn't work. There's nothing in it. It's just tittle tattle. It is ridiculous. But I wanted to support her business. So I bought it, and listening back to it, I was like, oh shit. And it was just so on point with everything that was me. And then the researcher in me was like, nah, she knows you. She's friends with you on Facebook. She's been Googling stuff. She knows your mom. That's not true. Yada, yada, yada. All these limiting beliefs. So I bought two additional audio files for two of my girlfriends at the time, and they were spot on too. So, as a researcher, I had to dive in deep and know more. I had to get it. Like, how does it work? And the only way to do that is to do the certification. So, I signed up for the most advanced and biggest certification we have here in Denmark. And I was just really skeptical all the time. I was asking all of the questions, being super critical with everything they taught me. And they just had answers for everything. They could explain to me how the numbers were the numbers that they were, why number something is this and number something is that. And when I finished the certification, I was like, well, then I kind of have to change my name to see if it actually works. And it did for me. So it's really my research background, which led me to investigate spirituality even deeper. And then from there, it just blossomed. Like I started buying self development books. I started doing even more yoga than I've done before. I've done yoga before, but just as a workout. And now I suddenly found myself diving into the philosophy of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, and what is actually more. Because, like, yoga is also an amazing way to find your spirituality. Because I don't know if your listeners know, but yoga is not the physical practice that you do. Yoga means union, and it is what happens to you when you do your meditations, when you do your breathing exercise, the pranayama, and you do the asana, which is a physical workout. So, yoga is really spiritual, and having the numerology on that, and then slowly opening up even more, trying to understand, well, numerology is all about energy, vibrations, and frequencies. So everything has a frequency in the world. That's just plain physics. So physics works within the spiritual realm as well. So learning all these tools, building on top of it from my research background, has been the way that I have entered the field of spirituality and the way that I have learned to understand it. And now I do a lot of spiritual work. Like I've opened my clairvoyant channels really much, and I'm pretty much just a channel walking around at this point. I use it a lot in my business. I support my clients by using the numerology for some of them. With some of them, we use spiritual techniques as oracle cards. And a lot of them I use my clairvoyant skill set with as well to support them in whatever spirit has to say on the other side. So yeah, I think that's my entrance into it. It's not like there was one day where it's just like, woohoo, there it was, spiritual awakening. It was a slower progress for me as I come from, yeah, the research background. My parents are doctors. We are very much into science in my family. So it's not something I'm born with at all. It's something I more likely learned to ridicule a little bit when I was a kid. I remember having a stepmom who had crystals everywhere and how we would roll our eyes at her and be like, "Ugh, she's so weird. Stones in the window doesn't work." And today I have stones on my desk and I have stones in my window and I have crystals everywhere. I wear a crystal bracelet. Um, so yeah, I had to learn. I had to find community to learn it and to express myself in the spiritual realm, slowly but steady.
Of course, and it's so fascinating to hear, and also the approach you have. I feel the same that your awakening is not something that happens just at one day, but it happens over time and it expands, and you kind of awaken again and again and again. So it's so fascinating to see because I have known you for many years now, and I only knew a part of that story. So to hear a more expanded version and knowing, okay, this is not it. Of course, we are evolving all the time, and it only depends on what we are doing it for and to. So, can you walk us through why did you integrate this in your entrepreneurial path? So, some people will just be spiritual in their hobby time and in the free time, but how come did you choose to just do it all around, if that makes sense?
It does, yeah. So there really was the question for me not to have it as a part of my business because it's such a big part of who I am. And the way that I lead my business is that I lead with my heart and my entire being. I am very much a walk the walk, talk the talk kind of coach. And I couldn't not share that. I couldn't not say that I love having these ceremonies where I do oracle cards. I love connecting to spirit. I love all of these practices. So it would be a fake me you would see if I didn't incorporate it in my business. And to me, my jam is all about personal power. And to me, like the personal power is to stand in who you truly are, your entire being, not just a fraction of it. Um, and it would feel fake if I didn't do it. And also, I do numerology in my business. I teach numerology, I do client sessions, I do every single thing from like changing your name to supporting my clients and finding the right prices that are aligned with the energy for what they're selling. all of this, I do it in my business. It's what I started doing in my business was numerology reading. And then the coaching was built on top of that. So it's like, it's my foundation for my entire business. It's the spiritual work.
I love it. Totally love it. And I agree. I'm that person too, that, hey, it's a part of us. We cannot divide it. So it's also about the balance in that, of course, we are spiritual beings, but we also have a business. And why don't we just incorporate that together instead of having a job that doesn't have the impact or the meaning that we know we're meant for? We are kind of the spirits that are just bursting out and removing the barriers, as I see it, that we can do everything our way and we kind of show it to the rest of the world. So, what I also know is that many individuals struggle today with having this idea of being spiritual and having abundance. So, can you tell more about that? So, how did you overcome those challenges and those barriers to embrace that you are a spiritual being and a wealthy being too?
Yeah. So there are many different things to this subject, and I love talking about this. So thank you for bringing that up. It's really important. A lot of spiritual people have gotten this idea. There is this narrative in the spiritual community that you need to be of service. And being of service equals being like Mother Teresa, being super poor, but helping everybody that you can help all the time, need to help, help, help. And it's like for me, it's like, yes, and I need to fill my cup. We need to always have this energetic exchange. And sometimes the energetic exchange is that I do something for you, you do something for me. And other times it is simply we exchange money because money is energy anyway. So we exchange that. And then I was in working really intensely with my money mindset, like rewiring and rewriting the beliefs that I had around money. So for me, one of my biggest beliefs that I have really adjusted is that um, every single client that has a breakthrough equals money in the bank for me. So every single aha moment for a client means more cash to me because that is the expansive energy. That is the, oh my God, this is so amazing energy. That goes into a bank account. And that is like how it keeps going. And me getting the money in the bank is like, for me, it's never about the money. I am driven solely by freedom, and money equals freedom. Because when I am wealthy, when I am abundant, when I have all the money in the world, then I'm actually entirely free. When you have financial abundance, then you are free of all limitations and you can actually discover who you truly are. Like, who are you when money is never a question? That's interesting. That's freedom. And it's not because, like, I need a yard and a mansion and 11 cars and I need to, like, that's not the point. The point is, would you still wear an H&M t-shirt if you could choose whatever you wanted to choose? Some people say yes, some people say no. It's never about the money. It's about the freedom that the money gives you. And that's what I'm driven towards. Always, always, always the freedom. So also learning to detach that clients equals money. That's a big one for me. Like, people will be like, I need money, so I need clients. And I'm like, no, you don't need clients. You desire to support more people because that's a different vibe. That's a different energy that you are attracting from. And you desire money. You mostly, I guess, whoever is listening here, you don't need money. You have a roof over your head. You have something smartphone so you can listen to this podcast. You have hearphones. What is that called in English? I don't know. You have speakers so you can listen to it. You have everything. Headphones, I think it's called in English. Yeah. So you have what you need. Your needs are met. You have desire for more. And just acknowledge that. Stand in those desires. Because I also have a firm belief that your desires was placed in you, in your heart, in your being by God, source, universe, whatever you call it. It was placed within you because you living that desire will make the world a better place. So you need to honor that, acknowledge that, and stop shaming yourself for wanting that part of you too. It is what is in your nature. If it's landed in your heart, whatever your desire is, if it's your desire, then you will change the world by fulfilling it. And that's a core belief I hold around money, around everything. If it's my desire, it's because the world will be a better place when I get that. So, for instance, I desire financial freedom that will make the world a better place when I'm financial free, when I can be fully expressed, when I can be all of who I am and I can be my fullest self, meaning I can support so many more people. I can do so much more. I can be so much more. I can reach so much further out. I can make the world a better place. It's the same thing. Like, I desire an amazing husband. When I have him, the day that I will meet him and we will build the relationship, it's going to be so amazing. I'm going to be teaching that. I'm going to be teaching relationships building. I'm going to be teaching healthy dating. I'm going to be teaching all of this love stuff even deeper. And that's going to support people. And that's going to make the world better. So every single part of my desires are going to change the world in a better way. And that is simply a fact. So that is how I lead my life, is to stop shaming myself for my big desires and my biggest dreams and my expansion, but simply just to find a trust that, for me, it's the universe. So the universe placed my desires in my heart and in my being because the world will be better when I reach them. And that is like a drive for me to go with. Does it make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. I'm just diving into this dreamy world, just, yeah, I feel it. Okay, I can be in that. And I totally, totally agree because it is what it is. And money just needs a purpose. So when you have the belief, when you can shift your own belief and say, the more I have, the more I can give, there is just a whole different vibration and an energy exchange because why you're doing it. And it is when you fulfill your purpose, you can also help and teach people fulfill their purpose. And it makes so many things question in my head because I get curious about you. So let us just know, where are you right now in your business?
Hmm. I just have a quick comment for the money thing we just went through because it just popped up. So it's coming through me for all of us. Um, so if you are not a person who is anything money driven at all whatsoever, that is completely fine. That is perfect. But then you're probably one of these beautiful souls who want to make the world a better place, who want to feed the poor and all these things. The only way for you to do the work that you desire to do is that you make the money so you can place the money where you desire them to be. So that is a very important shift. Also, if you are working on more of being humanitarian and if you want to be doing this activism work. So if I want to make the world better for all animals in the world, then the easiest way for me to do that is to make the money and then give it to the organization that helps the animals, or to make my own organization that helps the animals. So the money doesn't get lost in taxes and whatever. Nah, it can get lost in administration fees and stuff, but that the money goes exactly where you desire it to go. Yeah, so that was just coming through me. And then I forgot your question. Where am I in my business right now? Was that the question?
It's okay that you forgot your question. That just went to another level, and I want to ask me another question before that. So, by that being said, I totally agree again, of course. And this knowing to be smart about your money now that you are reaching new heights, money needs a purpose once again. What are you investing in, and how, and why? And yeah, a lot of questions, right? But just to narrow it down, I want to ask you one question about that because I know I have a purpose with it. And right now, for me, it's just this Danish psychiatrist system. It's not it's not built for where we are today, and it's not enough. So that is where my heart is because of personal reasons. So I give money for the funds in there and for other things too, but that is my soul, just longing to give more to that fund. And I want to ask you, do you have a special reason? Do you have somewhere where you just, i need I need this money for that place?
Mm. So my heart is very much in the LGBTQIA plus community. So for me, love is the reason why we're here. We're here to experience, give, and be free to love whoever we desire. So my goal is to have an even bigger financial freedom so I can give money for pride organizations, for all things pride and support, and not just in the month of pride, but actually do it properly. So it's also a big deal for me to support businesses that are supporting the community and supporting that we can love whoever we desire to love. So that's where my heart is very much at. I also completely agree with you with psychiatry here in Denmark. It is horrific, but that's a different podcast episode, I feel like. So yeah, I think for me, it's the LGBTQIA plus community for sure.
I love to hear it. And I love to hear that when we are in this space, we just have it. It's not like you have to think about, oh, so what is it for me? You just know, I got that reason. And that is just one part of us in this whole spiritual business being. We cannot just divide it up. We just have to have the balance in it. So back to the original question was that I can hear that you are able to raise the funds, you are able to have your clients and help and be the impact. So where is your business right now versus where do you want to go? Where do you know you're taking your business to?
Yeah. So right now I've had a slowing down in my business, and that's been two personal reasons. I've needed to take a step back. I've needed to breathe. I've needed to process some old trauma that has been resurfacing, which is also the most amazing things about being self-employed and running your own business. I can just take time off. I can just
Yeah.
not work and be fine. So what I've been doing is really stepping back, nurturing the clients that I have right now. I'm also feeling like we're in 2023 when we're recording this podcast. This year's all about depth and being international and intentional and really like deep, deep, deep core wounding and like really healing that stuff. That's what the energy is craving. And I feel that within myself too. I feel like I just quote unquote want to go deep with one-on-one clients. So that is what I'm focusing on right now. I'm doing a mastermind and I'm doing like one-on-one work. And the one-on-one work we're doing is so good. It's so juicy. We are stepping back into our personal power within our life, our businesses, our relationships. That's very much my jam. Uh, all things personal power, which is, I think, what the world is lacking. Because we're so fed up in what we are quote unquote supposed to do and who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to live and all that bullshit. So we just need to come back to our personal power and be who we are before the world told us who we should be. So that's what I'm working with right now, and that's what I want to do even more. I've previously had this idea that I wanted to be teaching all the time, that I wanted to run a program every month. And right now, that's not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be forced to be teaching every single month. I want to be working with one-on-one clients for now. I might start a longer mastermind later on. But honestly, I want to be doing one-on-one work. I want to be going out. I want to be doing bigger speeches. I want to be supporting more people. I want my podcast to grow. I want my English community to grow even more. I shifted my business to English for like 6 or 8 months ago. So I wanted to really nurture that. And I want to be doing more writing. Writing is like my favorite thing in the world. So I want to start writing more. I want to be starting writing books and all these things. So my dreams have very much varied. Um, Also, since like the world opened up again after COVID, and we can start to be out even more. I have this urge to be out more. I have an urge to work less, but work deeper and work more intentionally and more powerfully. So that's very much what I'm craving right now for my business and for the future that I can see right now. And I also want to just say, like, I know more people have this idea that we need to know exactly where we're going. I don't know exactly where I'm going. I am trusting. I am letting myself be led by spirit, by my heart. I'm letting myself be led by what feels good right now, because that is where I need to go. Wherever feels good to go, there is a lesson right there that I need to be learning for me to know where I'm going to go next. So I don't know where I am in 5 years. I don't know where I am in 10 years. Do I have a vision board? Do I have big ass dreams? Yes. Do I know when the dreams will come true? No, because that's none of my business. That's the universe's business. My business is knowing, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? And go do that. And then it's the universe's business to support me in the how and the when. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Of course it does. And I feel that the listeners that are going to listen to this will just be like flowing in this world with you. Just like, yeah, we got you. Okay, we got to trust more. Because what I know also is that this year, 2023, is a spiritual year by numerology. I think you told me, and maybe one more told me. It makes total sense because what I just feel in my gut is that this year will split the waters about how we look and see at the spiritual world. And some will incorporate it and some will just reject it totally. And that leads up to that there is no such thing as right or wrong. But as you say, this is a year to just let go. Let go of the old crap that no longer serves us. Let go of the ideas that are no longer aligned with us, and just leading into the trust that now my dream changed and it's okay. Now I'm going for that goal. It might not be the same next year, but then I know where to go. As long as I just take one step at a time, universe will show me. And I love the fact that you said that you don't know when your dreams are going to happen, because so many people put the pressure on themselves on setting a date. I want this on that date. And when it does not happen, they just lose it all and, oh, it does not work and blah, blah, blah. And it will never come. Even though that the universe might just wanted to show you something first or give you another way around it and give it to you later on. But now that you rejected it, of course it will never come. So it's a good reminder for all the listeners that don't put the pressure on yourself. Don't put a date. Give it to the universe and say, hey, I know I desire this. And then I know it's up to you to bring it when I'm ready, because I don't know when I'm ready, but the universe definitely does. There's always a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Because we might think we're ready and we'd be like, I am ready for love and light. And the universe be like, yeah, but can you hold the flip side to that love and light? Probably not. So we're learning all the time. That's like what we're doing in this level up game we're doing all the time, is that we're learning to hold the flip side. If you want to be a rock star, you need to be able to be the rock star, which means you need to be able to be fully loved and admired. And I think Michael Jackson is the best example for it. Some is like, oh my God, he's so amazing. And other people are like, oh, he's so gross, he's horrible. You need to be able to hold the flip side of what you desire. If you can only hold the positive side of it, then you are not ready for it. And then the universe will be presenting you these beautiful gifts for you to embody another level, for you to embody another level and another level and another level, until you are ready to hold the flip side of the thing that you desire the most. So it's protecting you by not giving you exactly what you want right now in your time frame, because like, we can't control the time frame. What we can control, on the other hand, is stepping into a personal power, taking full responsibility, even though it's not very fun, taking the full responsibility of who we are, what we do, our actions, our thoughts, our patterns, and all these things. We can take action in that. We can go in and heal that. We can work on that. We can become more present. We can become more filled with pleasure. We can become more happy. We can work on that. And then what you desire will come when you embody the frequency that the desire holds.
I agree. Totally agree. That would just be the perfect moment to just say, yeah, all right. I think the listeners got it. Thank you for now. But I still have a question for you. You just brought so much gold, and I know it's just going right into their hearts when they hear it. So if you could just leave the listeners with one advice when they are seeking the next level, regardless if they want to seek the first million or the next million, we have this up leveling game. What have been your biggest aha moment that you want to pass on so they know, okay, now I know what I gotta go. I gotta shut this podcast off and go do it.
Yeah. So the first thing that pops into my mind is that you need to allow yourself to have the breakthrough. You need to allow yourself to have the breakthrough, which is something that I have very much been struggling with, because honestly, I've had it super easy in my business. Business-wise, it's been easy. Making money has been easy. The personal stuff that I've been navigating has not been easy. It's been everything but easy. Be ready to hold the flip side, and don't be scared of the flip side. The thing that I wish I've done sooner is to get support, is to have a mentor, coach, whatever person that you need support with. Get someone to support you, because you've been taught a lot of bullshit, and you need to unlearn all this bullshit to relearn what is in alignment with you, what is your truth, and you get to pick that. Whatever it is, whatever's true to you, you get to choose that. You get to create your own paradigm. You get to create your own self-fulfilling prophecy. But in order to do that, you need to let go of the self-fulfilling prophecies that you've learned. Like women are not making as much money as men, or it is hard to run a business, or you can't be a good mom and be a good CEO at the same time. You need to unlearn all that bullshit. And to do that, you need support. Like, nobody has created $1 million empire on their own. We are not designed for it. We humans have a brain that is hardwired for connection and support. So if you're trying to do it on your own, you are already setting yourself up for failure.
Agree.
Yeah, I think that my advice would be get support. It's more fun that way.
Agree, totally agree. And we know by now, by the point where we are at, but we had to hear it too. So this might trigger some person and be like, you don't decide what I will do or not. And it's okay, because everything happens for a reason. And if it triggers you, you gotta go through that stuff. The first time I heard it, that you could have your own business, but you cannot do it on your own, I was just like, fuck you, I'll show you. And I went down beneath the floor, having the biggest time of stress ever. And right there, I thought, okay, maybe they were right. Maybe I should try this. So just taking this in, you don't have to have as big as a trigger as I did or anyone else. We have walked the path already. So find a mentor or a coach or someone else who is on that path that you want to go, because that's the easiest thing ever. You don't have to walk through these long, dark roads alone when someone else can just show you the light and short path. It seemed too good to be true, but it isn't. And you'll never know if you never try. So just jump into it. And one more thing I used to say is, the only thing you will regret is why you didn't do it sooner. And maybe, Laura, if you could just have the last word, and I will say thank you for today. Maybe you have a quote or something that will stick to the listeners today. And of course, in the show notes, we will have every fact about you, so they can dive deep into who you are and they can find you anywhere.
Amazing. So I think my final words would be, the only one who determines what's possible for you is you.
Agree.
So you just need to choose.
Agree.
Yeah.
One choice. It gave me goosebumps. So I think that would be the word for today. Thank you a ton for being here. It has been a blast. I think we will do it again and see where you are just a year from now. That could be really, really interesting, I think.
I agree. It could be so fun. We could do a live podcast one day. It could be so
Yes.
fun.
Let's do that. Agree.
Thank you all for listening. I appreciate you all so much. So remember to subscribe if you are new on here. You came across this site for a reason, and there is no such thing as a coincidence, and I know you know. So feel free to join my free group over on Facebook. It's called the Spiritual Millionaire Coaches with Mike and Larsen. So you should be able to find it, or else you can just reach out to me wherever you find me. Over there though, we share a lot more about this spiritual business and abundance and how to tap into this millionaire mindset, and also master manifestation. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope it got you on fire, that you got into your badass business, that you fired up your spiritual body, and are ready to spark and never ever dim your light again, go do your thing and see you again in our next episode.